160 episodes. This is Red Leaf Retrocast. Retrogaming. It's what we do here sometimes. Every, twice a month? Twice a month? Feels like twice a month. Most of the time. Colin.
Average.
It's your theme today.
Yes.
What is your theme that you have chosen?
It is Memetastic. Games that in some form or fashion created internet memes. Or viral video in one case.
Yeah, it's funny. One of the games you chose, I was like, I've never heard of that game. And then as soon as I started playing it, in the opening cutscene, I went, it's this one.
Yep, that was the same way. I was like, how's this one a meme? Oh, okay. This one's okay.
It's that game.
It's one of the earliest memes of the internet.
So yes, we're doing that today. And obviously, did a little pre-podcast, Joey and I, talking about the woes of the Champions League. It's all right. It's okay if I lose money, right? It's not like I got bills to pay or anything.
Oh, that's why you don't bet on anyone against Real Madrid.
Ah, come on. What fun is that? Fuck Real. Hate that team.
Yeah, but they just have voodoo magic. They're just going to win.
Rich assholes. Would be nice to have a... Imagine if there was an American team that was paid for by the government. Wouldn't that be crazy? That'd be crazy, right? No? Okay.
That'd be wild.
Yeah. Maybe in some ways, I guess the Toronto government pays for the Leafs, but that doesn't... They don't win anything.
The Raptors, on the other hand.
Well, they won once. Good for them.
Yes.
So, we had the PlayStation State of Play. There was... Yeah, Colin, I'm getting feedback on you, buddy.
Yeah, I'm getting it now too.
Yeah.
I think it's background noise on my end.
No, we can literally hear our voices
volume,
again.
just in case.
Yeah, I heard JD echoing, and one JD is enough.
Whoa, hey, buddy. I mean, yes, but hey, okay. So State of Play happened, the PlayStation 1, and they basically announced a whole lot of nothing. It was more Astrobot, which I guess is fine. And then I actually have... there was some VR games, which I don't think any of us care about. PSVR, it works, but there's just not a lot of interesting things ever happening with it. That's unfortunate, of course. And then just a couple other games. The news I was more excited about was something that came across my Twitter timeline, was called Nightmare Kart on Itch.io. It's Bloodborne Crash Team Racing.
What?
Yeah, it's fun.
Wow.
It's funny. Just I think it was just it was either in the last podcast episode or the one before that. We were just talking about kind of the state of consoles and where they're heading, and the lack of kind of not just new IPs, but IPs in general, just kind of coming across the console, especially now. It really gets you the feel that it's the end of the lifespan. But in terms of like technology, you're like, I don't know. It sure seems like it could get another 5 years. Like, what's going on here? And sure enough, the State of Play didn't change my mind on that matter and opinion. You guys been following these stories along the consoles and what's happening?
No, not really.
Not really.
No, yeah, I didn't think so. So what have you been playing,
I've
Joey?
been too busy.
What have I been playing?
What have you been playing?
Not really much. Let's see. What did I play? A little bit of Diablo 4 with the new season. Got a character to 100 and then lost interest. Played some EverQuest. That's about it. I haven't really been gaming.
Colin? Where are you, by the way?
I am in Sandusky, Ohio.
Ah, that's right.
Spent for the past week or so.
I thought you'd be back by now,
Been
but I guess
looking
not.
forward to this. Well, today's the day I leave for home, but I'll be back in Canada tonight, barring any problems at the border.
You won't have any issues.
Yeah, getting back into Canada is easier than getting into the States.
Oh my God, 100 times. It's no joke. So what was your favorite ride while you were there?
For a while, I was torn between Millennium Force and Steel Vengeance, but I decided on Steel Vengeance. Oh, no, Millennium Force, because it does not crush my legs.
Oh, okay. What'd you think of
Let me tell
Rougarou?
you, though, it was okay.
Oh, that was my favorite ride. I love that one.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't terrible, but it didn't really stick in my mind the way Millennium Force and Steel Vengeance did.
But the
I even bought
Rougarou
a
is
Steel
there
Vengeance
to
mug.
feed on your screams.
Well, good for it.
Yeah.
It's not getting any from me.
Lame. I say, look, I'm drinking my coffee mug I podcast with for the last 6 years or whatever is the Rougarou ride mug that you could buy there. Love it. That's one of my favorite
I bought
roller
myself.
coasters in America. What'd you buy?
Well, I bought myself a Steel Vengeance mug.
Okay. So, Joey, what's going to happen is you're going to have to go to Cedar Point, get a mug of your favorite ride. It's just going to happen now. I'll go with you, by the way.
Maybe.
And then we can both make fun of Steel
Maybe.
Vengeance together. Say, what a piece of shit ride. Who would like that? Losers only like that ride. No, Colin?
Keep telling yourself that.
Well, what have you been playing?
Well, before that, I've also been to Colossal Con for the past few days.
How'd that go?
Yeah, it's been pretty fun. Unfortunately, the dealer room has been pretty worthless. No video games anywhere. At least ones that weren't imports.
I'm kind of not surprised with that anymore.
Oh, yeah?
My feel on the retro gaming kind of collecting and kind of convention-esque camaraderie about it all, it's like completely disappeared. Because if you go into a used game shop now, without, like, take away all the basic sports games shelves, because that's what you see are those kinds of games, shovelware kind of stuff. When it comes to games that people actually want, you either never see them or they're just this asinine price that is just outrageously. It's outrageous. You can't even fathom. It's like, I don't know, what would be an example? Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. You know, are you going to pay $200 for that game? No, not going to pay especially now that the remake's out.
Yeah.
Like, hell no. Not paying that kind of money for that. And people aren't.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm noticing that where I live too. So many of the retro stores just have such jacked up prices.
Yeah, if I go on eBay, let's see what like Paper Mario is going for on eBay right now. Let's see here, because this will prove my point in at least one way or another. GameCube.
So on the plus side, on the first night, there was like this free running flea market type deal going on where I could just walk in, plop a bunch of stuff down on a table and sell it.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
I was able to sell half the stuff that I have laying around. I'm too lazy to trade in, and it got like 110 some odd bucks out of it. American. So that was pretty nice.
So
I
it
also
looks
did
like
get some
Paper
games
Mario on eBay goes for about $75. So it's actually
Yeah.
decreased in price by like $25 since the remake came out, which is nice because it used to go for 100 easy. But the point stands that when you go into like game stores or anything that's not eBay, it's like easily double. That's what I've been seeing in the last like 4 or 5 months.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually did go to like a retro store and a GameStop close to where the convention is happening, and he had this display of somewhat rare games, and Paper Mario was in there for at least $120.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's approaching
But
double.
I did get some games.
What'd you get?
At the GameStop. At the GameStop, I was able to get Final Fantasy 16 and Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. And at the retro store, I got Unicorn Overlord and Triangle Strategy.
Unicorn Overlord sounds like a username Joey would have used in 2003. Like a game
maybe.
FAQs or something.
No, I was drunken chicken.
My point exactly. Your fourth account in EverQuest, Unicorn Overlord.
Yeah, it was made by Vanillaware, the guys who made Odin's Sphere and Dragon's Crown. So I figure it's worth a look. And it's still cheaper over here, full price, than it is up in Canada. Because holy shit, we got to pay $20 extra up here. But aside from that, at Colossal Con, I sang at karaoke a couple of nights. First night I did Africa by Toto. And then second night, Walk of Life by Dire Straits. And then last night I went to a 90s panel hosted by Drunk Jeffrey.
Drunk Jeffrey.
Yeah. Just this dude dressed up in what is supposed to look like the Toys R Us giraffe, but he looks all strung out. He's got a cigarette in his mouth. Walking around in tighty whities. Pretty funny.
Walking around in tidy white, like that's it?
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, makes me uncomfortable.
And then occasionally takes them off and you see a tramp stamp above the tail. It's hilarious.
Okay.
That should give you an idea of the stuff they're to expect in a panel like that. I actually went up to compete in a trivia round on the stage, and I won. I won a 3-pack of vintage Michael Jordan action figures from Space Jam. I'll send a picture right now.
All right, awaiting picture.
But yeah, all the same with all that. I think I'm done with conventions in general, at least ones that are far from home.
Kind of the last one then? You've reached that point?
Yeah, in the States at least. Did it. Okay. I just sent the picture. Is it showing up?
Yeah, it's showing up.
Ugh, Space Jam. Michael Jordan.
My favorite is the golfing Jordan.
Yuck.
But yeah, so all that aside, I've mainly been playing Tears of the Kingdom. I am surprisingly addicted to that game. And right now I'm making my way through the Fire Temple. just unlocked all the locks to that one door to get to the main boss.
Mm-hmm.
So looking forward to seeing how that turns out. And aside from that, it's been mostly podcast games.
I've been doing more Stellar Blade. Still haven't picked up a Final Fantasy game in weeks now. Stellar Blade's just taken over my life. Yeah. So yeah, Stellar Blade, I opened up the option of the last area, which is a space elevator. So the memes came rushing through my head of that kind of joke. It's an anime joke, for those that don't understand. But anyways, so during up to this point, it's weird because once you're done with like the wasteland and you've kind of done everything in Zion, you open up an area called the Great Desert, and I'm like, holy shit, this is like expansive and a very cool designed area for something just in this like wide open space. And it pretty much goes, okay, your next objective is to go underground into this facility. It's a gun run only area. I talked about that previously. And it's like really close to where you land. You don't like need to really explore the Great Desert, unlike what happened in the Wasteland, where you pretty much had to trek through the entire region and map in order to get there. So I thought that was kind of a lazy, poor design aspect of the game, but maybe their thinking was, I could see it being thought of in two ways. We're tight on budget. We can't, we don't have the time to design something as intricate as they did for the Wasteland area. So the desert kind of functioned as, well, it's wide open. You can kind of just go straight there if you so please. Or you can traverse the land and get more upgrades and fight more enemies, that kind of deal. I kind of leaning both ways on that. So I end up unlocking like a few other things in the Great Desert, because once you beat that underground facility, it just goes, okay, our next step is going up top. We're going to space. And you're like, oh, wait, hold on. There's this whole region I haven't explored yet. So there's that I still want to do. I want to explore the whole region, because once you go to the space elevator, it's the point of no return. And boy, oh boy, could you make a click mistake in just clicking that easily. So that frightens me. It could be a situation where I'm just not paying attention. I'm just trying to get through the dialogue, and it's just, you're going. I'm like, shit. So it better prompt to ask me, are you sure? 60 times before I'm going. The boss battles are still very incredible. I really love them. The gameplay just keeps getting much more intricate. I did unlock a it's like a god mode. It's like Joey, you're familiar with this, with God of War, and you click down both sticks and it's like it's god mode, right? And you have a finite amount of time where you're just this unbeatable thing. Yeah, it's got that, so that's kind of cool. And then there's this. I was looking up stuff online to like, where do you find like all these cans and collectibles so I can keep getting outfits and whatnot. And then I came across this thing where it says, oh, if you fill up this so you have a mechanic and she's got this like knowledge meter. And if you fill that up to 100%, that apparently unlocks another area to go to. So I am 100% doing that. I'm gonna be pretty. I feel like I'm motivated to get as pretty close to 100% in this game. 85, 90 plus is kind of what I'm gauging with how I've been playing. I just love it. I really like it. It's, again, I've mentioned this before, but it's this year's Lies of P for me. It's super fun. It's not this over intricate AAA studio million plus dollar game, right? So maybe I'll have it beaten in the next, month here. I hope. And then besides that, been playing Paper Mario Thousand Year Door remake before bed. Lots of quality of life improvements, gotta say. A lot of things aren't so esoteric anymore in dialogue. That's done very well. The random enemy encounters don't continue to be infinite spawns, so it actually kind of and the way you gain experience is a little better than the original game. So if you're looking for an affordable alternative to Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, I do recommend the Switch. Now, I gotta ask, guys, what is your opinion on remakes like this / re-releases being charged $60-something, full price new games type stuff? Do you believe that's okay if people are willing to pay, or do you feel it should be like a half price kind of game?
Depends on how much they do with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like if it's more or less 1-to-1, but with some like graphical improvements, maybe at least $10 cheaper than the regular average of a brand new game.
Well, brand new games are going for $70, and it was sold for $60. So,
oh, then that's fine by me.
Yeah. Barring that the original it's very difficult to find, and as we just looked it up on eBay, it sells for about $75, so you're still getting it cheaper than what you can get the original.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. If it's hard to find in a remaster, then yeah, sure, sell it again, because not many people had a chance for it. But if you just like update the graphics of the same game with the same bugs, then no. But
yeah, they took a lot of the bugs out.
So they put in work, and it's hard to find. If the game's like Nintendo does, they re-release their games like every 5 years, then no, I don't think it's worth full price. But if a game hasn't been around for a long time and hard to get, then yeah, I get full price for it. Yeah, but I think remasters and remakes are going to be the same thing in like Hollywood, where everything's just redone, you get nothing new, kind of boring.
Yeah, it sure seems like we're going that route. Nintendo, look, they came out with Super Mario RPG. That's incredibly difficult to find. Same kind of situation. They sold that one for $40, I believe, upon release. And then, not to mention, this month... What's that, Colin?
I said, I don't know. I can't remember it being particularly cheap, at least where I'm living.
Well, it'd be like $50 for you, Mr.
Although, nowadays it seems to be 60, at least at GameStop.
And then, not to mention, this month, Luigi Mansion 2 is coming out, which, let's look that up. What is that selling for on the 3DS? Let's see. 3DS, Luigi Mansion 2. You know what I never did in the original Paper Mario or Thousand Year Door, was talk to Luigi, and he's like, every time you beat a section or chapter, you go to Luigi and he's telling you a story that sounds incredibly fake about the adventures he's going on.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. And then Mario will actually fall asleep while he's talking.
Yeah, that's funny. Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon goes for... Oh, I can get this for like $10. Well, that's a bit different. That is going in the back of my mind when the re-release comes out. That game came out in 2013, so it's 11 years old now. We'll see what that goes for on the Switch. I might be just getting the 3DS copy of the game. It's like $10 or $50-$60. I don't know. Then again, I can't play a 3DS on my giant TV. I don't have that ability. What do you think, Joey?
I don't think.
You don't think? What do you think of me getting a promotion and raise and my own apprentice and assistant? Could you imagine being one of those
I pray
things?
for them.
You pray for them?
Oh, no.
I have a 28-year-old apprentice and a 22-year-old assistant. I feel like I've reached peak ego here. I was like, hey, apprentice, you want to work on Saturday? And he's like, not particularly. I'm like, too bad. We got to do this. Because if I have to come in, so are you. This is why.
And you went in so early.
I said he could come in at 8. That's fine. I went in at fucking 6.
So early.
Look,
On a
shit.
Saturday?
Look,
early.
experiments got to get done, bro. Okay?
Get them done during the week.
No, those are
Get your
other
shit
experiments. And we weren't finished.
Get your shit together.
Well, my shit's finally starting to make money again, so I can make terrible betting decisions on Borussia Dortmund. Well, okay. Paper Mario, we've done that. Shall we talk about our meme games now?
Okay.
Everyone's in agreement. Here we go. You know, as I played that Dragon Quest V theme, really made me realize, Colin, we didn't beat that game. We stopped playing again.
No.
So far into it.
Hey, you stopped first.
I sure did. And it's a game I really love. I really do. I don't know why I won't beat it.
Could have fooled me.
Well, it's like a Final Fantasy game. God, I love it. I'm obsessed. 45 hours in, puts it down, never beats it. Like, fuck.
Yeah, but you got.
I'm beating Rebirth, I swear.
Less than 10-hour mark.
Yeah, I didn't even get 10 hours into this Dragon Quest V playthrough this time around. I'm so sorry.
Nope.
I'll get back to it someday.
Better be.
Dragon Quest V is missing hot women and awesome clothing that you can collect. That's what's happening. That's the reason. Okay. Colin, tell me about why you picked your theme and the first game.
And it was mostly random inspiration when I was at work. I just kind of thought of how some games will randomly just generate a meme that gets quoted all over the internet at times. I mean, Skyrim gave us the arrow to the knee thing. Call of Duty gave us press X to pay respect. World of Warcraft gave us Leroy Jenkins, although that wasn't the game itself. And Star Fox 64 gave us do a barrel roll. The list goes on. I just thought it'd be kind of fun to talk about a couple of games that did the same thing, one of which I've never played before and have been interested to play for a while. And the other I have played before and beat. Of course, it's pretty short, so that's not saying much.
We'll go on. First game.
Okay. First game is Zero Wing on the Sega Genesis. Developed by Toaplan and published by Namco in Japan and Williams Electronics in North America. Released in the arcade in Japan on July 1st, 1989, and in North America on April 1990. Then later ported to Sega Genesis in Japan on May 31st, 1991, in the EU on July 1991. And for some reason, Wikipedia is saying its North America port came in 2020. Not sure what happened there. But it also got a PC Engine CD-ROM port in Japan on September 18th, 1992. And I chose this one because it's the origin of All Your Base Are Belong to Us. Though, looking back on it, that was more of a viral video than a meme. But it's basically the same thing, right?
Well, it started as a video, and then it just kept going.
And it spawned off as a meme. It was everywhere. Although I think back in the day, it was just called a fad.
Pretty much. Fad, viral video.
You're right, Joey. You're right.
It was pre-meme.
Yeah, back in the early Wild West days of the internet on Newgrounds. But as for the game itself, it's a side-scrolling shooter along the same lines as Gradius. And in large part, it's pretty easy. You start off with one little ship and then very quickly get two turret guns to go along with your ship. Pretty much any time you die, that's the first thing you get. And then there's like 3 different types of weapons. One's a regular old straight shooting projectiles. Another one is laser beams, and the third is homing projectiles, which I tried to keep the most. And like I said, it's a pretty easy game, but then the first boss came along and I kept dying over and over. I mean, up to that point, I wasn't even bothering with save states, but once that part hit, I was reloading like crazy.
The game's pretty damn difficult. Not to mention, I'm also terrible at these side-scrolling shooters. Or shmups.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I didn't like is going back to the red gun by actually picking up that quote-unquote upgrade.
Yeah.
I don't want to toggle through. I just want to get stronger.
Gotta avoid those drops when you finally learn what they all do.
Yeah.
It's like picking up the knife in, or no, it's like picking up, what am I thinking of? Picking up the not knife in Ghosts and Goblins? Or Ghouls and Ghosts? One of those two.
Yeah, it's probably Ghosts and Goblins.
Yeah.
Even the angry video game nerd was saying that's what you got to do.
Yeah. Just get the knife. Projectile. Great. This game was actually really fun. And the terrible translations made it very enduring. Because it's super funny. I actually found a YouTube video recounting the whole dialogue. And actually, there's plenty of them. But it's really funny. Just
Yeah.
Just the opening thing, all your base are belong to us, is just this throwaway line. It's actually like the whole opening. That's super funny. Just, Captain, what happened? Where you go?
Someone set up us the bomb.
Yeah, it's just, you're inundated with all cutscenes of just terrible dialogue that's just mistranslated so bad. It's let's see if I can pull that up. Keep talking about the game. I'm going to pull up some of the dialogue.
For great justice, take off every zig. And zig is the spacecraft that you use. I'm guessing they were going for like a MiG, but zig just sounds dumb.
Here we go. I have the whole opening sequence. Here we go. In AD 2101, war was beginning. What happened?
Yeah.
Somebody set us up the bomb. We get signal.
Yeah.
What? Main screen turn on. It's you! How are you, gentlemen? All your base are belong to us. You're on the way to destruction. What you say? You have no chance to survive. Make your time. Ha 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 ha. Captain, take off every zig. You know what you doing. Move, zig, for great justice.
Oh boy.
You have no chance to survive. Make your time. Just
Yeah.
it's just awkward enough where you're huh? Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Let's see. IGN has game script. Wonder if there's more to it. Let's see. Is that all of it? Nah, that's all of it. Okay. Yeah. What really makes this game unique is the like magnetic thing that you can press, and that'll create enemy ships as a shield. And then you can also shoot them off.
Yeah.
When you need be. That's its version of the option that you find in other shmups, where you just have a shield or another kind of buddy in front of you kind of deal. I like that. That's very.
Yeah.
It gives you a sense of tactical advantage and disadvantage when you have it and don't.
Yeah, it reminds me of Galaga. The enemy ships had the same ability.
Mm-hmm.
Just grab your ship, and now it's theirs, and you got to fight against it.
One thing I didn't like.
Find it got repetitive after a while.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a shmup. There's like 6 levels. They're never too long, but their balls hard. The aspect I really didn't like was the constant enemies floating from top of the screen right on top of you. You pretty much have to remember where they will spawn in that moment. But too often they'd spawn right there as you're avoiding or going up the like tunnels that were at the bottom of the screen, where you'd have like 5 enemies in a row come out of it. I'm just like, come on. That was pretty damn annoying, and that's only on level 1. It gets way worse in the later levels when you're also having to traverse tighter spaces and whatnot. That said, it's a shmup. It generally functioned very well. I've certainly played better shmups. I've certainly played more interesting ones. This one is like an above average kind of experience. I'm sure you can get like a repro cart of something. I wonder how much it goes for. Well, repros always go for like $40, but what about... There we go. Wonder what... Oh. My work computer has blocked out videogamepricecharting.com. Hooray. Never you mind. Okay, never mind. I will not look that up. Ultimately, I'm going to pass it, but it's not something I'd say go out of your way to kind of spend $40+ on.
Yeah, not worth the price, but if you can get it cheaper, I'm passing it.
Yeah. Yeah, certainly.
Yeah, I give it a pass.
The memes were worth it, though. I did like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Next, sir.
All right. The next game is Portal for PC, PS3, and Xbox 360. It was developed and published by Valve, released on the PC, PS3, and Xbox 360 on October 10th, 2007, as part of the Orange Box bundle. And according to Wikipedia, it's also got a port on the Switch. Yeah, I chose this one because it's the origin of the cake is a lie meme. Because that's something you see in the game every now and again. Just if you do a little bit of exploration, go behind some of the panels, you'll see graffiti from a previous test subject who went insane and began writing on the walls, and every so often he'll write over and over, "The cake is a lie, the cake is a lie." Because, well, I'll get to that in a sec, because the premise of the game is you're a test subject at Aperture Laboratories, and the supercomputer GLaDOS is basically using you to perform psychological experiments. Basically, just have you solve puzzles involving a portal gun, which, as the name suggests, generates portals. You shoot one on one wall, shoot one onto another, and then you can move back and forth between them. And evidently, she's been doing this for a long time with all kinds of other different people, who none of whom have survived, evidently. And when you get close to the end of the experiments, she always says, "There will be cake." But according to the guy who went insane, the cake was a lie.
So when it comes to memes and jokes about this game, I am at 0% knowledge, because I had no idea going into this what even I was looking for. Because even when this game came out, and let's see, when did this come out? This came out in, was it 09 or something?
07.
07. So yeah, so I was starting college, and there was people were obsessed with this, especially the co-op aspect of it all that you could do. And
I think that was Portal 2.
Well, that was Portal 2.
Portal 2 was co-op.
Portal 2 was co-op. In this one, it was still the aspect of the puzzles was kind of blowing a lot of people's mind. I remember that. And I would go to, friends' rooms and whatnot, and they would just be obsessed with this game. And the memes just never, it never became a thing when the game first came out. So when did this all happen? Is it just the one, or is it like a series of memes for the game?
Mainly, is the cake is a lie.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't really frequenting a lot of forums at the time, so I never really saw the whole cake is a lie thing. But at the very least, according to Yahtzee, he says Portal has the worst fans in the world, and they bray like mules every time someone mentions cake, according to him.
Really?
Yeah. It never really crossed my path personally, but it seems to have taken off in certain corners of the internet. So what can you do?
Huh.
Yeah, it was all over forums at the time, like game FAQs. So yeah, it was definitely big. I mean, it has its own Wikipedia page. So the cake is a lie was definitely a big thing.
Even back then. Okay.
But to be fair, the cake is not really a lie. It's just a lie that you're going to get it, because it does exist.
Yeah. Yeah, you see that at the very end after the ending credits. Short cutscene showing a cake with a candle.
But also, I think
apparently
another thing that made this game huge was Still Alive, the song at the end that GLaDOS sings. That also catapulted the game.
Yeah, that was a very catchy song. Apparently, this game is something of a spiritual successor to an earlier game called Narbacular Drop, which
what the hell is that?
Plays the same. I'm about to explain.
Okay.
It pretty much plays the same way with portal puzzles. And from what Wikipedia says, Gabe Newell, who runs Valve, he saw what the team had done with the game, and he was pretty interested, so he hired all of them to Valve to create Portal. So, and yes, this game does take place in the same universe as Half-Life. It's even mentioned you even hear a mention of Black Mesa in the Still Alive song.
Yeah, I'm still always surprised that it's part of the same universe, because it just seems so disconnected to everything.
Yeah, the two series have very little to do with each other beyond some small in-jokes and references.
I mean, they could be on different parts of the timeline. So maybe it's when Black Mesa was just first starting out, so they haven't destroyed the world yet.
Yet, you say?
Probably. In any case, this game is fantastic. The puzzles are satisfyingly challenging. The gameplay is super tight, and the sense of humor is perfectly executed. I mean, GLaDOS's various quotes are pretty funny. I think my favorite was, "You will be baked, and then there will be cake." Did anybody else have a favorite quote?
I think it's anything the robot says. The robot's very cheeky.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like every time you destroy a camera, it's like, please don't destroy study equipment or something like that. And it just repeats every time you destroy something.
Please don't do that.
Yeah.
Also, like the sad turret guns.
Yeah. I don't blame you.
The game has a very wacky sense of humor. It's kind of like Borderlands in a weird way, because that was another game around this time that really became popular in college. When I was in college, when we were in college, because we're all the same age.
Yeah, another quote I really liked is, "The floor has been flooded with a toxic chemical. If you fall into it, it will result in an unsatisfactory grade on your record, followed by death." And one thing I never noticed during my first playthrough is how dirty and grimy everything looks up close. I mean, from a distance, it all looks sterile, but if you look carefully, you'll see everything looks like it hasn't been cleaned in a long time. You'll even see dried blood stains here and there. It's just a nice attention to detail that indicates the lab hasn't been inhabited by humans for a long time, aside from GLaDOS's test subjects. And we come to learn in the final boss fight with GLaDOS that she killed everyone in the facility by flooding it with neurotoxic gas. So that tracks with everything else.
Can't believe she would do that. Very rude.
Yeah, what a bitch.
Yeah. Let's see.
That's all I can really think to say about it.
Yeah. The puzzles are very mind-bending. It really makes one think about the basics of science. You know, object in motion stays in motion until stopping. You know, that kind of deal. Yeah. There's a lot.
Speedy
up, down, left, right.
Comes out.
Yeah. Building up kinetic versus potential energy. Very, very cool. Like it's a learning game that gets you to understand those aspects of science. That's very fun. It's a game that teaches you things, gets you to think outside the box.
Yeah.
It's very functional. Must say that.
Yeah. The only
some of these
drawback
puzzles
is that
are
it's pretty
so
short.
hard. Yeah, it is very short. Let's see. How long to beat? Yeah.
Like 3 hours or so.
Is it really that long? It's like 5. Yeah, the first one's very short. The second one is much longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've definitely played the second one a lot more. It's probably why I still mess things up in my head. It almost feels like in Portal 2, they just throw... You remember old games like Jet Moto 2 or 3 would have a code, and then you just essentially unlock the first game? Which Portal 2 would do that with the first one, but it's long ago.
I mean, Portal 2, you do go through the chambers again in the beginning. They're just all, like, destroyed.
Yeah, but you're not doing the same thing. You don't have the same dialogue.
No, it's close enough. That's why they wanted to do it. They wanted you to go through somewhere familiar, so people who didn't play the first one can learn the ropes, and people who played the first one won't get bored going through a tutorial again.
Yeah. See that? Yeah, very good game. Very good game. I have no issue with the length, to be honest. I think it was a good test run, and they made it up in the sequel because they're like, wow, this game was really popular. People loved it. We're gonna make a more expansive title. What did the first one sell for when it first came out?
No idea.
Can't imagine it was a full price.
It was
game.
part of the.
Was it part of Orange Box?
It was, yeah, it was bundled with Half-Life 2, Half-Life 2 Episode 1 and 2, and Team Fortress 2. And I think that sold for the price of a full price game.
Oh, okay. You know what? That does ring a bell. That does ring. Yeah, Orange Box. I do vividly remember, but I didn't remember that Portal was part of that. That makes so much sense. Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. Easy pass.
I would say one thing about being short. There's a lot of different like achievement things you could do in the chambers. Like if you try to get a radio in each of the chambers and destroy it when you try to leave, that adds a little extra challenge because some of them are pretty hard to get to. But yeah, I'm definitely passing this game.
Yeah, easy pass.
Easy pass. Well, all right. The two games were Zero Wing and Portal. Joey, favorite, least favorite?
Portal, favorite.
Yeah.
Grade wise, I'm gonna give S to Portal.
An S? Wow.
Yes. And Zero Wing. It's either a B or C. I'll lean to a B.
Okay. I'm not as high as you on Portal. I'm still at A range, but Zero Wing, I'm gonna be a bit lower. There's certainly better shmups out there that do more with what they're doing. So I mean, it's still good. They're very good grades for what they are. What kind of game it is. Colin?
I'm the same as Joey. Portal gets an S and Zero Wing gets a B.
Wow. Okay. So that negates my ratings. Okay.
Fuck your ratings.
S and B. Little better than the last 4 games we played on this podcast with 3 Fs and a D. A little better. Well, the next topic and theme is Joey's pick. He has not chosen that yet. So
yeah, I got an idea. I'm pretty sure I have it. I just don't know what I'm going to call it.
Okay. Well, with that, we'll see you next time, everybody.
Bye.
Bye now.